Today we are going to work on a project that is a voice assistant. Yes, a voice assistant that will accept what you say, it will hear what you say and also perform the task you ask it to play. For example, if you ask it to play a video on YouTube, it will do it. So let us first look at what our final product looks like, then we'll shift to the coding part.
Hello sir, good evening, I'm your voice assistant. Today is 31 of October, and it's currently 12:59 am. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 degrees Celsius and with smoke. Let me start by asking, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine. What about you?
I am also having a good day sir. What can I do for you?
Can you please play a video for me?
You want me to play which video?
Believer.
Playing Believer on YouTube. What can I do for you?
Can you please give me some information?
Sure sir, you need information related to which topic?
Neutron stars.
Searching neutron stars in Wikipedia. What can I do for you?
Can you please read the latest news to me?
Sure sir, now I will read news for you. Number 1, jittery investors sell Apple stock, but bulls advise buying ahead of supercycle, Barron's. Number 2, swing state voters face major mail delays in returning ballots on time, USPS data shows, The Washington Post. Number 3, Lori Loughlin begins 2-month prison sentence in college admissions scandal, NBC News. What can I do for you?
Tell me an interesting fact.
Sure sir. Did you know that, due to the Paraguay's central location in South America, it is sometimes referred to as the heart of South America? What can I do for you?
Tell me a joke.
Sure sir, get ready for some chuckles. Why did Sweden start painting barcodes on the sides of their battleships? So they could Scandinavian.
Hey guys, welcome back. Now we'll shift to the coding part of our program and we'll first see how to convert text to speech. In Python, to convert text to speech, we have a module known as pyttsx3. It does not come with Python all along, so we have to install it first, right? So to install it, open your terminal. Open it whether you are using PyCharm or any other IDE like VS Code, right? And right here, pip install pyttsx3. It's Python text to speech version 3. Module is already installed in my computer, so it says requirement already satisfied, but in your computer it may take some time, right? So we'll move further. We'll close the terminal and we'll import this module. I'm importing it as P just for my convenience, and then we'll initiate an instance of the p.init class. Here, this engine is an instance of the p.init class, which is inside this pyttsx3 module. What it does, it just gets the information of the current driver you are using, right? See, in the first go, it may sound a bit complicated, but just remember for your convenience that it is used to initiate the pyttsx3 which we are using to convert text to speech, right? So what next we will do to our computer to speak for us? We'll write engine.say, and then we'll add the text we want our computer to say, right? Hello world, my name is Nova, right? Hello world, I'll add a full stop after that. And after this, we'll ask our computer to wait for us until the sentence gets finished. Engine dot run and wait. Let me recall it for you. The say method of the engine instance helps the computer to say for us, and the run and wait asks the computer to wait until the sentence get finished. Hello. So we'll run and check how it goes.
Hello world. My name is Nova.
See, it was phenomenal. It was working as expected. See, now there are several properties in this PyTT-SX3 module which can be changed, like the voice of the computer and the speed of the computer and various others. So let us first check what all properties can we change. For example, we want to adjust the rate, the speed of the voice, right? So we'll write this rate is equal to engine.getProperty, and then we'll write the characteristic we want to know about. Like in our case, it is rate for now, and then we'll print this, print rate. And now we'll again run our program and see what the default rate is.
Hello world. My name is Nova.
As you see, the default rate is 200, right? We can change this property by using the method setProperty. For example, we write engine.setProperty, and then we'll mention the characteristic we want to change. Like in our example, we want to change the rate and then the value we want to set for it. For example, it is by default it is 120. So if we set it at 130, it will be a little slow in compared to the default rate. Let us check whether it is fine or not.
Hello world. My name is Nova.
As you see, it was comparatively slow, but it was too slow for us. So we'll set it at 180 maybe. I think it will work.
Hello world. My name is Nova.
Yes, it is perfect. So now let us look at what all voices our Windows operating system offer us. So let us check it. So now we'll have a look at the voices. Voices is equal to engine.getProperty voices, and then we'll print this voices, voices, right? We declared a variable here that captures the output of the engine.getProperty method, and then we'll print it. Let us see what happens, what it returns us, right?
Hello world. My name is Nova.
As you can see, it returned us a list of 2 items. Nothing as such is clear from that, but we can tell that these are the voices as we pass the voices characteristic. So these are the 2 voices which the Windows offers us, right? We can check them by writing this code. Let me show you how we can actually listen to them rather than just seeing the text. We'll write here engine.setProperty voices, and then we'll pass the voice we want, right? So we'll write voices. Let us check what was there in the first element of the list, ID. So what we just are going to run, we will be able to hear this piece of voice, right? So let us run a program.
Hello world. My name is Nova.
So it is still a male voice. So we can judge from this that the first element in this list was a male voice. Now we'll check for the second element in this list. Just a second, I have to make it voice, right?
Hello world. My name is Nova.
See, as you can hear, the second voice was of a female, right? This voice was of a female. So these are the properties you can adjust using the PyTT-SX3 module, and you can check their official documentation for more information. Let us try our hands on some other examples, like, hi, what are you doing? Let us run it.
Hi, what are you doing?
Now we'll work on some other examples. Hi there, I'm your voice assistant, and we'll set it to 130 maybe. So you can set the properties once and
Hello there, I am your voice assistant.
see, it is working perfectly fine, and you have to just set these property once and they'll work for all time, right? So now we'll see how to convert speech to text, right? So let's go. So now we'll work on converting speech to text. And for converting speech to text in Python, we have a module known as speech recognition. And similarly, like PyTTSX3, we have to install it using the terminal. It does not come with Python pre-installed. So we'll go to the terminal and write here pip install speech recognition. As you can see, I've written. It is already there in my computer and it may take some time in yours to install. And here I'd like to tell you that I'm using an Anaconda environment. You can install Anaconda in your computer. It is a very good software. It comes with Python with it, and it is better than Python as it allows you to install some packages which you cannot install with pip, right? You can install Anaconda from their official website, anaconda.com. Just go to the products, individual edition, and here you can install Anaconda on your computer. It comes with many applications like Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda Prompt, Jupyter Lab, and Spider. It is very useful, and I'm using Anaconda in my project because I have to use PyAudio and it shows some problem if we use pip to install it, right? So I'll use Anaconda to install it. So I'll write conda install PyAudio. It is already there in my computer and it may take some time in yours, right? So now we'll work on converting speech to text. First of all, I'll import the speech recognition module. I'll write import speech recognition as SR. Then I'll create an instance of the recognizer class. I'll tell you in a moment what it is. R is equal to SR.recognizer. See, this recognizer class basically creates an instance that helps us to retrieve information from a source. That will be microphone in our case. So in simpler word, it helps us to retrieve the audio from our microphone. Now we'll convert the speech to text. The main code comes here. We'll write with SR.microphone as source. And if we want the computer to listen to us, we have a method known as r.listen the source, right? And after that, we store the listen in an audio. So basically what this listen function does is that it listens to what we say and captures it in a microphone and saves the audio in the variable we have just mentioned here, that is the audio. Now we'll send this audio to the Google API engine, which will convert it to a text, right? We'll write text is equal to r.recognize Google, and then we'll add the audio. What this line of code does is that it converts the audio, it sends the audio to the Google API engine, and the Google API engine converts the audio we have entered to a text. We can check it by printing the text. Print text, just like that. So now what will this piece of code do is that it will capture the voice, it will capture what we say through the microphone as a source, and then it will send it to the Google APIs, which will convert it to the text, and we'll print the text, right? Before running this program, I'd like to adjust some of the background properties like the energy threshold and the ambient noise, right? I'll tell you in a moment what they are. First of all, let me write the code. Now what this energy threshold does is that it increases the spectrum of our voice. Like if we increase the value of energy threshold, then it will capture even the low voices, right? So by experimenting, I found that 10,000 works just fine for me, right? So, and this adjust for ambient noise, what it does is it cancels all the noises around you, right? So it will not capture all the noises around you, and it will just capture your voice. So let us just run and check what it does. Let me just write here print listening.
Hello there, I am your voice assistant.
Hello there, how are you? As you can see, it just captured what I said, and you can see it displayed it here using the print text. Hello there, how are you? Let us try it once more. But first of all, let me remove what I printed here. It is of no use now, the voices.
Hello there, I am your voice assistant.
Hi, my name is Rishikesh. As you can see, it displayed what I said, right? So it is working absolutely fine. So now we'll make our code a little bit more functional and make it a real voice assistant, right? So let's go further. So every time I want my computer to say something from me, then I have to write these two lines of code. So instead of writing these two lines of code, I will write a function that will do it for me. Def speak. It will take the text I wanted to speak. And the speak will take the text and it will say for us, right? It's just perfect. So now let us make a script. What will the workflow of our voice assistant? So first of all, it will ask us, hello sir, I am your voice assistant and how are you? Right? So let us do it. Speak. Hello sir, I am your voice assistant. How are you? It'll ask us how are you, and we'll give an answer to it, which will get stored in the text. So if the text consists of what about you, then I'll make it to speak I am having a good day sir, and then there'll be a mandatory line, speak what can I do for you. Let us check whether it works or not.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. What about you?
I am having a good day sir. What can I do for you?
See, it worked as expected. If we add a comma here, then it will be a pause. I'm also having a good day. Right? So it works just fine for us. Now suppose I want to add some more functionality to my voice assistant, right? So I want to add automation to it. For example, if I want some information from the voice assistant, then what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the wikipedia.org page, search for the information for me, and display the page related to that information. For example, if I search for neutron stars, then it should go to the Wikipedia homepage. It will search for neutron stars and show me the result. It will be a pure automation based task, and for that we'll use Selenium WebDriver. So I'll make a new Python page named Selenium Web, and here I'll write all the code related to my Selenium WebDriver. So guys, now we'll see how to add automation in our program. For that I'll use Selenium WebDriver. We have to install it using the terminal. So I'll go to the terminal. I'll write pip install Selenium. It is already there in my computer and it may take some time in yours. After that, I'll import WebDriver from Selenium. So from Selenium import WebDriver. After that, I'll make a class known as info, a constructor function, and in that I'll initiate my driver. See, in my case, the executable path of my Chrome driver is this. It is mostly the same in all the computers, but if it is different in your computer, then you have to search that where is your Chrome driver or Firefox, whichever driver you are using, and then you have to put the full path of it here, right? So after that I'll write one more function, which will be our task performing main function. I'll name it get info, and it will take a query. Query will be the text we want to search in the Wikipedia, right? So here we'll initiate the self.query as query. And then we'll initiate the driver as well using the driver.get method. What this line of code does is that self.driver initiates the driver which are using, that is the Chrome driver in our case, and this .get method takes the URL which we want to search, right? So when I activate this line of code, when the interpreter runs this line of code, it will run this URL, right? So let us test it. Let me make an instance of this class. Let's name it assist is equal info, and then assist dot, right? I think it will work just fine. Let us just run it now. Now let us run this program and see what it returns us. It is intended to open the Wikipedia page, but before running this, I have to enter a query here. So let me enter just any string because it takes a query. If I don't enter, it will throw me an error. Let me run it now. See, it opened the Chrome browser as expected. See, it has entered the Wikipedia page. Isn't that amazing, right? So now what we have to do is that let me run it once again. Oh no. Yeah. Now what we have to do that we want our computer to click on this search bar, enter the text, enter the query we want to search for, and then press this enter button. For this, we'll use several more Selenium methods, and one such method is find element by XPath. So let me do it for you. See now what this XPath is, let me show you. Let me first comment this out and run this program once again. See now every text box and every link on a web page has their own ID which is unique. So we have to go to that ID and copy that and paste it in our program so that it gets triggered, right? So once it gets triggered, we'll able to control it using Selenium, right? So we'll go to inspect. We'll have a right click and go to inspect. We'll select on a click, right? Then we'll copy its XPath. See here, we can copy its XPath. I'll copy it. I'll uncomment this and I'll paste it here. Now what this function does is that it triggers the search box on the Wikipedia page and stores it in the search variable. Right. Now we'll use another method known as .click search .click. Now using the search, we triggered the search box, and this click method will make our program to click on that box, right? So after clicking, we have to enter the text we want to search, that is the query. For that we'll use the function search .send keys, and here we'll add the query. So it will take the query and enter it in the search box. After that, I'll trigger enter the search button on the Wikipedia page. So once again, I'll make a new trigger variable, enter, and I'll copy the code from here, find element by XPath, and here I'll enter the XPath of the search button, right? I'll go here, I'll trigger the search button. See, the ID of the CSS element here is a button. So I have to click here. I have to copy the XPath of the element that I have selected, right? Go to the copy section, copy the XPath, and I'll enter it here. And then I'll press the click button, just like as we did before. So now if we run this program once again and search our query, for example, if we search for neutron stars, and now if we run the program, it should search for it should give me a page of neutron stars, right? See, it worked as expected. We have the neutron star related page in front of us, and it's amazing. Now at this point of time where we have learned so much, I have a small challenge for you. What you have to do is, let me just show you the passage first. You have to copy the XPath of the first passage here, only the first passage, and you have to try make your assistant to speak only the first 2 lines written in this passage. So the workflow goes like this. Whenever you run this program, the Wikipedia page will open in front of you and it will read the first 2 lines of the passage, of the first passage. So I leave this challenge for you and you have to try making that possible, right? So now we'll shift to indulging this Selenium web automation to our main program. So after this, what can I do for you? I want my assistant to listen to me, right? So I'll again write this code with microphone as source, r.threshold and r.adjust the ambient noise, and then again it will listen to us. Right? So it will again store what all we said in a text variable. If I say that can you give me some information, then it will check that whether the word information is there in the text or not, and if it is there, it will perform the task for me, right? So I'll check if information in text, let me just make it text2 so that it does not get mixed up. Control C. If you find the word information in text 2, then it will ask me you need information related to which topic. Then again it will listen to me. Let me change the text name to infer, right? Then I'll pass the infer variable to the assist.getInfo function, and I'll remove it from here. So now the workflow is like this, that it'll ask me what can I do for you. I'll say can you give me some information. Then it will check that whether the word information is there in the string or not, which I'm saying. If it is there, then it will ask me you need information related to which topic. Then again it will listen to me, and I'll say that I need information related to neutron stars. Then it will take it and pass it to the get info function from the Selenium web automation script that we just wrote, and it will pass it to that, and it will open the Wikipedia and search it for us, right? So let us test it.
Hello, sir. I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I am absolutely fine. What about you?
I am also having a good day, sir. What can I do for you?
Can you please give me some information?
You need information related to which topic?
Neutron stars. See, it opened the Wikipedia page for us as we expected it to do. Now we can make it a little more interactive by adding a line here, right? So it'll speak, searching in Wikipedia. Now I'll add a variable here. The variable will be infer, right? Let me try it once again. This time I'll not say what about you. So it will just say what can I do?
Hello, sir. I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm good.
What can I do for you?
Can you pass me some information?
You need information related to which topic?
Neutron stars.
Searching neutron stars in Wikipedia.
See, it worked as expected. It searched the neutron star for us. Right? So now we'll learn how to open YouTube and search for YouTube videos and audios, right? So let me show you the code for that. So guys, this is our code for the YouTube automation script, and I have pre-written it because it is quite similar to the Wikipedia automation. Let us see what's happening here line by line. First line is from Selenium import WebDriver. It will import the WebDriver class from the Selenium. Then we make a class called music. We have written an init, that is a constructor function which initiates our driver, that is a Chrome driver in our case, and this is the executable path for it. Then we have a play function, which is the main working function of our YouTube automation script. What it will do, first of all, it sets the self.query as the query we have entered here. Then it initiates the driver this code self.driver initiates the driver, and the .get method takes us to the URL we have entered here, right? Now, one thing I want you to notice here, that in the URL I have written this piece of code and then I have written the query. Now, what is this? Let me show you it on YouTube. Whenever I search something on YouTube, for example, I search for dynamite, then on the search bar, we have this thing in common all the time. Only the last word changes, right? For example, I search for see, in this case also, the initial string is same, but only the last word changed. Pasted it here. And then I passed the last word, that is our query. Then what I did, I selected the first result that came after the search, right? For example, if I inspect this, then I took the XPath of this. I copied the XPath from here and pasted it here, right? And then I used the click method to click on that link and the video will play, right? So let us test it first. We'll add a query here. Let us play dynamite. Right? If I run this program, let us see what it returns us. It went to the Google, it opened the YouTube. See, the program worked as we expected it to work, right? It played the video and everything worked fine. I hope you understood it. Now let us indulge this YouTube script in our program. So just after what can I do for you line, it will hear what we wanted to say. We'll add another elif block, else if the word play and video in text 2, then it will ask me it'll ask me which I want to play which video. Then again it will hear. So I'll copy this code as it is. I hope you understood, right? So it will be fair for me to copy the code. It will listen to me, and in this case I'll make it a vid. Then it will initialize the class there, initialize an instance of the music class, and then it will run the function dot what it is it play, yeah it is, and then it will take the query as, see, I forgot to import the YTAuto file. Right? So now if we ask our voice assistant to play a video for us on YouTube, it will play, right? Let us make it a little bit more interactive, right? So right? Let us now run the program and see what it does, right? But before running this program, let me just comment out this part of code, otherwise it will run first. Yeah, everything looks fine. Let me just run the program now.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. What about you?
I am also having a good day sir. What can I do for you?
Can you please play a video for me?
You want me to play which video?
Believer.
Playing Believer on YouTube.
See, it is working absolutely fine. See, everything is going absolutely fine. Let me just make a bit modifications so that it look more clean, right? So everything which our assistant speaks will be printed also, right? So yeah, it looks fine. And I'll run it once again. I'll search for something else in Wikipedia.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm very good.
What can I do for you?
Can you please give me some information?
Sure sir, you need information related to which topic?
Black holes.
Searching black holes in Wikipedia.
As you can see, our program searched for a black hole in the vastness of this universe, right? Till now, we have added two very interesting features to our voice assistant. One is searching for information on Wikipedia, and the other is playing videos on YouTube. Isn't that amazing? Now we'll add another amazing feature to our voice assistant, that is telling us the latest news. For that, I'll use an API, that is an application programming interface. I'll show you how to use it. Let me give you a brief introduction about what are APIs. APIs are application programming interfaces. They help us to communicate between two different programs. In our case, we will extract the news from a source known as newsapi.org. It provides us a JSON file which has the latest news, and we have to just extract the news from it. Now that was enough of talking. Let me show you the code for it. First of all, we will install the requests module. Pip install requests. It has been successfully installed in my PC. So now I will import it. Now I'll make a variable that will store the URL from which I'm going to retrieve my data. Let me call the variable as API address equals. See, this is my URL from which I'm going to retrieve my data. It is unique for every user. To get your own URL, you have to just go to their official website, that is newsapi.org. Click on Get API Key. You have to sign up here, add your information, all of your information, and then you'll get an API key just like this. Right, this is my API key. I can't show you the full key, otherwise it will get copied, right? After that, you can read their official documentation. It is quite informative and clear, and it will help you to get this URL, right? This key here is my key, which I have stored it in a secret file. So now what we have to do is, here I'll make a variable JSON data, guys. It will use the request module request.get method, and it will search for the URL which we have just stored it in the variable API address, right? And it will convert it to a JSON file. Now, what is a JSON file? It looks something like this. We will get into this once we dive deep, right? Here we have an article list, right? It is a list which has all the latest news. We will access it to get the news we want. It has plenty of news, but we'll take only the first 3 headlines, right? Otherwise it will be too long. So now I'll make a function, let it be def news. Here I'll run a loop for 3 times. And I'll extract the data from the JSON file. Here, as you can see in the JSON file, we have a list with the name article, and here we have all the news. Here we have a title, a description for each news. For different news, we have different titles and descriptions. I hope you all know how to access dictionaries and lists, so I'm not getting deep into it. I'll just access it and show you how it works, right? First of all, let us make an empty list named AR. It is an empty list and it will take the news, the top 3 titles. I'm taking only the titles, not the descriptions in this case. Otherwise it will be too long, right? So first of all, here I'll make a string, then I'll append it in the list. We have just created AR. So the string goes as follows. Our voice assistant will say number 1. For the first news, it will say number 1. Then it will say the title of the news. All our news is stored in the JSON data, so we'll access it. For the first news, we'll pass the value of I. It is 0 in the first case, then it will be 1, then it will be 2. So in that way, we'll access 3 news. And we'll access only the title. And then we'll append a full stop, right? You can also add the description according to your convenience, but I'm adding only the titles, right? And then I'll append it in AR. Last, this function will return the list. First of all, we'll check whether the script even runs or not. Then we will include it in our main.py. So we will call the function news, and as it throws a list, we'll store it in a list, and then we'll print the contents of the list. Just to look whether the news function returns something or not. Let me run it and check. See, as you can see, it returned something in the list. It's not clear because it's too long, but it returned something, and it is the news, right? So now we can include this in our main.py. So let us get back to it. Elif, if there is news in our text, then call the news function. But first we have to include it, right? So we'll include it from news, capital news, import everything. So if our voice assistant finds the word news in the string, then it will print all the news for us, and it will recite also, right? So we'll run a loop here. First of all, we'll call the news function and store the contents returned by it in a list. And then we'll run a loop. And then we'll make our assistant to speak whatever there is in the list and also to print it, right? So speak whatever there is in the list and also print it. So let us check whether it runs or not. I hope it runs, finger crossed. Okay, so unfortunately it threw an error to us. Okay, I got it, what's wrong. See, we didn't remove the print statement from here, right? Now I think it will work. Again, fingers crossed.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. What about you?
I am also having a good day, sir. What can I do for you?
Can you please tell the latest news?
Number 1 powerful earthquake jolts Turkey and Greece, killing at least 4, CNN. Number 2 big tech paces stock drop, along with ExxonMobil, Fox Business. Number 35 new albums you should listen to now, Ariana Grande, Onatrix Point Never, and more, Pitchfork.
See, it is working absolutely fine, but there is some problem in the documentation which I've done here. So I have to add a space also. Should be number 1, and then there should be a full comma. Right? And also here it should print first and then speak. Something is wrong. Right? And also if we ask our program to read news for us, then it should reply. It should give us a pre-reply first. So it should speak. Sure, sir. Now I will read news for you. Right? Let us run it once again.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine.
What can I do for you?
Can you please tell me the latest news?
Number 1, powerful earthquake jolts Turkey and Greece.
Okay, it just printed, it didn't speak, sure sir, that line. So let me make it speak also. Now let us run it once again.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine.
What can I do for you?
Can you please read the latest news for me?
Sure sir, now I will read news for you. Number 1, powerful earthquake jolts Turkey and Greece, killing at least 4, CNN. Number 2, big tech paces stock drop, along with ExxonMobil, Fox Business. Number 3, 5 new albums you should listen to now, Ariana Grande, Onatrix Point Never, and more, Pitchfork.
See, it is working phenomenally. I'm absolutely satisfied by the way it works. Now we have added 3 features to it. Isn't that amazing? Now we'll add one more. We'll make a program to say a random and interesting fact for us. So fortunately we have a module for that. We don't need to use an API. we'll use the module randfacts. Randfact module is a very interesting and useful module. In our case, it does not come pre-installed, so we have to install it first. So I'll do it. I'll open the terminal and write pip install randfacts. It got installed in my computer, right? It was quite fast, and I'll import it in my main.py. Import randfacts, right? So I'll write another elif block. If anyone says fact or facts in our main text, then what our program will do, it will get a random fact from the module and store it in a variable named x, and then our voice assistant will make it to print and also speak it for us, right? So print x, and it will speak. I'll make it to speak in a very interactive manner, right? So I'll write, did you know that? Then I'll add a comma, and then I'll concatenate the fact I got from the module, right? So let us see whether it works or not.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine.
What can I do for you?
Can you please tell me a random fact?
Did you know that beer was illegal in Iceland until March 1st, 1989? Now, the date is celebrated every year in Reykjavik as Bjordagur, or Beer Day.
Did you see that? It was another amazing feature, right? Let me make it a little bit more interactive. Sure, sir. I think it will work just fine for me. Now we have added 4 features. Now I'll use another API to tell a joke, right? To make our assistant tell a joke. So I'll directly show you the code. Just a second. See, now this is the code using which we will extract jokes from an API. This is a URL of an API. It is common for everyone, and you can just copy it from my screen, right? Let me explain you the code line by line, even though it is absolutely same, but still I'll explain. First of all, we imported the requests module, then we stored the API address, the address from which we are going to extract the jokes into a variable called URL. Then we converted the URL to a JSON file. We first used the requests module to get the URL and then converted the contents returned to us by the URL into a JSON file. Let me show you first that what are the contents returned by the URL, right? It will be more clear then. Just a second. This is the exactly same URL which I mentioned here, right? This one. I entered this URL on my Google Chrome and see it returned me a dictionary, as it can be seen from the curly braces. It returned me a dictionary, and then we have characteristics like ID, type, but we are interested in the setup and punchline. Setup is the first line of the joke and punchline is the main, the funny part. So we'll extract it in our program. See, here we created an empty list. It's not empty. We created a list with 2 empty strings. The first string is for the setup. As you can see, we have 2 characteristics here in which we are interested, the setup and the punchline, right? So the first element of the list stores the setup from the JSON file, and the second element stores the punchline. If you observe this piece, then JSON data returns us a dictionary, and this is just a common Python syntax of accessing a dictionary, right? Then we create a function joke and it returns the list we have created, right? The one interesting thing I would like to show you here is that the moment I refresh this page, the joke changes, right? If you observe. So this is why we are using this API, because it gives a different joke every time. It will be more interactive and interesting in that case, right? So now we'll include this in our main.py, right? So from jokes import everything, right? Then we'll add another elif block, elif joke or jokes in text2. Then what you have to do is it will call the jokes function, right? Let me just have a look. Joke. It will call the joke function, and since the joke function returned a list, so we'll store it in a list ARR. And since we know that the list has only two elements in it, first is the setup and then is the punchline, so we'll not run a loop for that. We'll just directly access it. So we'll write first print the first element, then print the second element, see, first it'll print the setup line, then it'll speak the setup line, then it'll print the punchline, and then it'll speak the punchline, right? So let us first run and see what happens.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine.
What can I do for you?
Can you please tell me a joke?
What is a centipede's favorite Beatles song? I want to hold your hand, 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 hand.
As you can see, it told me a joke, right? And it is working perfectly fine. I have no issues with that. Just to make it a little bit more interactive, let me add one more line. So it will speak. Sure, sir. Get ready for some chuckles, right? Now let me run it once again.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. How are you?
I'm good.
What can I do for you?
Tell me a joke.
Sure sir, get ready for some chuckles. What's the difference between an African elephant and an Indian elephant? About 5,000 miles.
See, it was amazing. It is working absolutely as expected. So I have no issues, right? Now let us add one more feature to our voice assistant, that is telling the weather forecast, real-time weather forecast of a state, and also the time, right? And according to the time, it will wish us good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, right? So let us do it. For that, I'll again use an API, that is openweathermap.org. It is similar to the newsapi.org. Here you have to sign up and then you will get an API key. So I'll not repeat the process. I'll show you the website, their official website, and then I'll show you the code, right? This is the official website of Open Weather Map API. It says openweathermap.org. So once you come here, you can sign up or sign in here, and they'll provide you the key. And they also have a very interactive and nicely managed documentation, so you can access it and can write your code. Right, so let us make a new Python file. We'll name it weather. And here we'll write all the code related to our weather forecast, right? So let us just dig into that. This is the code that gives me the information about the current weather, and we can check this by just printing what these functions return to me. This is the code that gives me the information about the current weather. We can check it by just printing what these functions return to me. The temp function returns me the temperature, and the des function returns me the description of the weather. See, the temperature here was in Kelvin, so I subtracted 273 from it, and I rounded the temperature to 1 decimal point. So that's why I use the round function here, right? So I'll run it and see what it returns, what it prints. Okay, I think I made a spelling mistake there. It was supposed to be temp. It's 21.1 and it's a lot of smoke, right? As you can see, a lot of pollution in Delhi. So you must be thinking, from where did I get this mean and temp and weather and description? So I would like to tell that I got it from the API which I have used here, right? So I'll enter the API address on my Google Chrome browser and show you how the actual JSON file looks like. So as you can see in my Chrome browser that there are several characteristics on which we can access here. For example, we have a key named as weather, which has a list as its value, which we use here. We use this weather and accessed its description, right? If you noticed it carefully, we used the key weather and then we accessed the first element in the list. So you can access different things using an API. One more thing which I'd like to show you is that if you notice carefully in this URL, I have used this keyword Delhi here. So you can change it according to your state. You will find every small detail in their documentation. So go and have a look there. Right? So I'll use it in my main.py and I'll use it to make my voice assistant speak for me. You know, the information. So I am your voice assistant and I'll remove this. Right? And I'll here write that temperature in New Delhi is, I'll concatenate first I'll typecast the temp function. I have to import it, right? From weather, import everything. temperature in New Delhi is, and it will return me the temperature. And here I'll write and with, I'll concatenate right. So it should work fine. Let me just run and test it.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1.
No, something is not correct. Just a second. Okay, I used an extra bracket here for no reason. And I think I should shift this sentence to another line so that it gives a pause to it, right? I think now it should work fine.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 and with smoke.
First of all, the temperature module which we have created returns, it prints the temperature, so we have to remove it right here. And second thing, I've made a spelling mistake in the word temperature, so I have to correct it. Yeah, now it looks perfect. And now just run and test it once again.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 and with smoke.
We should write here degrees Celsius, right? Right, so it should work fine now.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 degrees Celsius and with smoke.
Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. And after that it should speak, what can I do for you? Right? So I want my assistant to speak today's day also and also the time, right? So let me do it. I'll use a date time module. So let me import date time. Yeah. And I'll make a variable, no, not here. I'll make a variable date, today date is equal to date time dot date time dot now. And here I'll make my voice assistant to say today is today date dot shift time, and here we'll add a specifier. I'll explain, don't worry, what this method means. So here I've made my voice assistant to speak today is this date and this month and this year. So I did it using the strip time method of datetime module. Yes, what this method does is that it converts the date into readable strings. Like if it is 28/6, then it will say 28th of June, right? You can read the documentation of datetime module from any documentation website, right? And this percentile D and this percentile B are the specifiers for date, month, and year. For example, if I write percentile small d, then it means, according to the documentation, let me find it out. Then it means day of the month, 1 to 31st, right? If I write here percentile B, then it means percentile capital B, it means month name, full month name, like it will say 21st of December, right? So this is the use of the strip time method of the datetime module. Now let us see what is the final outcome of our voice assistant.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant.
Okay, it showed an error. I think I made a typo somewhere. Yeah. See, I would like to show you the full string first here. Just a second. See, today is, and this percentile D will show the date, percentile B will show the month, and percentile I is for the hour, for the minute, and for AM or PM, right? So you saw, and so you saw the whole string, and now we'll run it. Let's see what it ends up being.
Hello sir, I'm your voice assistant. Today is 31 of October, and it's currently 12:43 am. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 degrees Celsius and with smoke. What can I do for you?
See, it's working perfectly fine, right? See, I've made another function here known as wish me. What it does is that it takes the datetime.datetime.now, that is the current time, and takes the hour of that time, that what is the hour, and if it is between 0 to 12 according to a 24-hour clock, then it will give me a morning. If it is between 12 to 6, that is, if it is between 12 to 4 PM, then it will give me an afternoon, or in any other case it will give me an evening. Even in the night it will give me an evening, which works fine for me. So I'll include it in my program. So it will be like hello sir, good morning, or hello sir, good evening, right? So let me just include it. I think it should work fine. It should wish me an evening.
Hello sir, evening, I'm your voice assistant.
Okay. Something is not correct. Now I think I should run and it should return me an evening.
Hello sir, good evening, I'm your voice assistant. Today is 31 of October, and it's currently 12:47 am. Temperature in New Delhi is 21.1 degrees Celsius and with smoke. What can I do for you?
See, it worked perfectly fine. So now we have worked a lot on our project, and I would like to leave the further on you. You can improvise it in a way you like, right? You can add new features to it, you can modify it, you can add new versions to it, you can add new features, you can do whatever you want with it. I've just given you a basic skeleton, and here it goes, right? So just before leaving, let us have a final look at what all it can do, what all our voice assistant can do, right? So it tells us the real-time weather forecast, it wishes us morning, night or evening, morning, afternoon or evening, right? It it can play video for us, right? You can also improvise it by if someone says that play music to me, then it redirects it to Spotify website, and there you use the Selenium to play that music, right? It will be a nice little challenge for you, and it tells us the latest news. It tells us a fact, interesting fact. It can tell us jokes, right? You can also add a movie review system to this. Like whenever someone asks for a review, then it goes to Google, searches for that movie, and adds a string there. Like if I ask for New Mutants, then it should write New Mutants movie review on the Google platform, and it should search for the movie review, and it should recite the ratings, right? So this is another challenge for you. So yeah, I would like to conclude here. This was all from my side. You can improvise this program, you can take it further, you can release new versions of it, you can do whatever you want. We have just created a skeleton. It is just the starting of this AI program. So thank you very much.